Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm going to be doing a tarot reading today for communication reading from the Divine Masculines. Okay, so basically, I'm going to be looking at their energy. Then I'm going to be looking at the what the communication, in near future, if they're going to be communicating right, to kind of find out what kind of process they're in when it comes to communication, and then what it would look like, right? So would it be angry, peaceful, loving, the sexual, manipulative, right? We'll look at that, and then just the outcome for the communication and essentially the Divine Masculine, right? So this is all near future energy, which could be 2 to 3 weeks, or it could be 2 to 3 months. Time is fluid. I'm sure you're sick of hearing that. I definitely am, but it is true. Okay, so release your expectations, and hopefully this resonates. Okay, and just as a reminder to anybody who would like a reading, that will be in the description box, and you could also go to my about section in my YouTube channel page. Okay, but that's just if you're interested. If you're not, then what can you do, right? All right, guys, so let me get started here. I'm just going to take a cleansing breath, and you guys are going to wait, and it's going to be really fun, all right? So, okay, so I think what's going to happen is we're going to look at the Divine Masculine energy first, right? I think that's what I said we're going to do. I'm notoriously known for not doing what I said I was going to do, but I think this time I will. All right, so dear Spirit, please give me clarity and use me as a channel to help bring insight into this collective group of Divine Masculines for this communication reading. And please use me as a loving channel. Okay? Perfect. Little mantra right there. All right, guys, let's look at the masculine energy for this, near future type of thing, whatever's going on right now with the Divine Masculines, okay? So, dear Spirit, what is the energy like for the Divine Masculines at this time? What is the energy like? So, let's see. Card flew so far away from me. I'm going to go get it. All right. Oh, there it is. Okay, so the first card is the Two of Cups, okay? So they have partnership on their mind. Energetically, this would be a type of emotional time for them. They could be in a loving energy. This could indicate, of course, many things, right? Partnership. If they're not with you, they could be with somebody else. And even if they're not with somebody else, they're very much in an energy where they feel partnership, right? Because this is a communication reading, they do have this energy about them, this emotional energy where they want this loving partnership, okay? And energetically speaking, it's like they're in let's say an energy of love, right? Or an energy of wanting a partnership, right? So there is something about them that right now energetically going on. They definitely feel some type of love. There's that loving energy. They might want partnerships at this time. There's just an energy around them that has to do with that desire for a partnership, right? So what else can you tell me about their energy at this time? So this is interesting. Very interesting. I got the Death card, okay? That changes everything. Or maybe not really. But the Death card, transformation, okay? So I feel like a lot of Divine Masculines is just transforming in regards to this partnership. I should probably wait till I say all the things that it means before I get more than one card, right? So let's see what else I can get around that. So what else can I get for the energy? Yeah, so then after that you have another major arcana, which is the Temperance card. So already I'm getting this this very much a feeling of a transformation, and having the Temperance card after the Death card is I think they're actually in chronological order in the major arcana, right? Death and then Temperance. I'm pretty sure. The Roman numerals, right? Anyway, enough about that. So death would be transformation. So it's like there's a transformation going on in their life right now. Also could possibly be to do with the relationship with their Divine Feminine. Again, they're going through this process right now where they will be very soon. They're in this energy that's available to them that is going to kill off and really any parts of them that aren't really truly part of them, okay? It's that energy of spiritual awakening, because after that you have the Temperance card, which is enlightenment, right? So a lot of Divine Masculines, again, this is a general reading, are going through this transition in the near future. We're beginning right now, we're in regards to the relationships, in regards to love, in regards to their connection with their Divine Feminine, right? So they are becoming a little bit more awakened. Now this could also be because the Divine Feminines are empowering themselves and pulling away. And once you do that, trust me, if you guys have had enough of the pain and you guys decide to pull away, they feel that, right? Energetically, they might not be aware, right? They don't, but they are going to feel it. Okay, so we'll see what else we can get, but energetically they are transitioning into something right now, transforming. So it's a very powerful time for them, I'll tell you that. Very powerful. Like eating Panda Express, you know, how that is very powerful in one way, in the sense that it makes you shit your pants. Okay, so let's see what else I can get energetically. What else can you tell me, Spirit, energetically about the Divine Masculines at this time? Oh. Okay. Alright, here we go. So, this is the Four of Pentacles, okay? Now, energetically, I mean, I know this is a Pentacle card, but energetically this would be about holding on a little bit tightly to things. Okay, so there's an element of holding on tightly to situations. Basically, in the 3D world right now, they might feel a little bit, let's say, you know, not because it is an energy, not just about what they have, but there is that energy of being strapped for cash, so to speak. So they might just feel energetically like they don't have enough to go around. It's a little bit of lack energy. Okay, it's not a lot of pentacles. Okay, but it does show like trying to keep what you have. So it's almost like, you know, they go through this transformation energetically, but they're gonna hold on to what really is part of them, which is also what I feel that means. Okay, it doesn't have to be so negative either, right? It doesn't mean that they're actually being a little bit greedy or holding on to things that don't serve them. It could also very much just mean that they're holding on to what, or that they're going to be holding on to what's really left, what's actually a part of them, which might not be that much, right? After you get through this transformation. I mean, speaking of my own awakening, right? There are many times in my life where I didn't. Or I had to get rid of friends, you know, addictions, drugs, which I think fall under the addiction category. Lots of things, even smaller things, like clothes. Okay, lots of things happen during an awakening where you really find out who you really are, right? So they are going through this process. So I think that's what that indicates, more or less, right? What else can you tell me about this energy for the Divine Masculines, dear Spirit? What can you tell me? What else you got? I would also like to take this time to thank everybody who has actually subscribed to me. It's actually really nice. I never thought that I'd ever be doing this in my life. No, I don't know what I thought I was going to be doing in my life, but certainly not this. You know, especially when my face was deep down in coke. All right, so let's see what else is going on here. So we got the Nine of Wands. Okay, so that's about defensive energy, right? It is, and you do get that energy going on a lot, especially in that twin flame connection, because of the amount of triggering and stuff that goes on, right? Divine feminines are a little bit wary of the divine masculine. Divine masculines can't come forward. Push, pull, separation, the pain, of course, and just during a spiritual awakening and transformation in general, you would get this energy, right? This type of where you feel like you have to basically, you know, defend yourself. Right, so they are getting into this energy where they're going to have to defend, you know, their connection. They're going to be in a defensive energy, defending their own life to people. Okay, because a lot of divine masculines have not learned their lesson yet. Okay, and that's why they are with karmics. If your divine masculine is with a karmic, it is to teach them to awaken. Okay, and always keep that in mind. If you divine masculine is with somebody else, it is ultimately to force them to get rid of everything that doesn't work. And because love is often such a powerful tool, as I don't think I need to tell you guys, right? Because you love your twin flame, right? You have this intense love, and that's transformative in its own way. But you know, as a society, we often grow the most through pain and tragedy, and that often involves love. It just often involves some type of relationship. It has in my life, because love is such a romanticized thing, and it's something that feels good, especially, right? At least when it's going good. So keep that in mind, guys, though I know that that's, you know, hard to do, but ultimately know that if they're in a relationship and they're not with you, it's because they aren't meant to be with you right now, because they need to get their shit together, spiritually speaking. Okay? Alright, so let's see what else we can get. Yeah, we got more Cups cards here. This is the Page of Cups, which does speak to an element of love, okay? Not like the Knight of Cups, but having it at the end, having the two Cups cards, basically, you know, the beginning and the end, and everything else in the middle. It does speak to this transformative energy Page of Cups is like good news type of love news, right? More like a messenger than anything else, but it does have an element of slower energy, more. I mean, this woman is drinking from her own cup a little bit, okay, but she is presenting herself, so she is there. You know, her emotions are there, but there's a little bit of energy of holding on to, you know, her own emotions a little bit. It's more like, you know, love news. It's slight. It's like it wouldn't be like a huge confession of love, I love you, but it would be like communication in the sense, you know, hey, an excuse to talk to you, that type of thing, right? A ploy. And that it makes a lot of sense, especially having it after the Nine of Wands, which is about being defensive, right? A lot of divine masculines, when they do communicate to you, are probably, depending on your situation, not going to just come forward and be like, I love you, because that's not, like, it's just hard enough for them to even say anything or to even communicate, right? So, you know, they're just not there to where they understand all of those working parts within themselves, right? Their subconscious, even their conscious mind. So they're going to probably, you know, say, you know, come up with an excuse to talk to you, whatever that might mean, okay? All right? Keep that in mind. People do that anyway, regardless of twin flames. People just don't want to own up to stuff, okay? So that is their energy, okay, in the near future, all right? This is communication energy. So communication-wise, it's no joke or no coincidence that you would get the Page of Cups there. It does have an element of communication to it, and so does the Two of Cups, honestly. Okay, so in the Wands card it's not really a communication card, but it does have an element of desire to it, right? Passion. Okay, so let's move on now to whatever it is that I said. I forget. I wish you guys could tell me about real time. Yeah, communication, right? It's communication reading. Oh, yeah, I knew I'd remember it. Okay, so let's find out if communication is incoming from this collective group of divine masculines, right? So, dear Spirit, what can you tell me about communication from this group of divine masculines? Okay. Alright, so the first card, and I actually like getting this card a lot. I don't know why. It's just a weird drawing. This dragon looks like he has cancer. But, so it is the Hierophant, okay? Now, with this card right here, this means a rite of passage, okay? It does mean higher learning, does mean gaining wisdom, also speaks to tradition, counsel, education, okay? Basically, it is a rite of passage, right? It is kind of growing and learning more in a more traditional way. You would think of it like college, okay? So, speaking just as that I mean, it is a major arcana, right, which lasts longer than minor arcana. We keep that in mind as well. Having that ready for communication is speaking that this is a period in which they are very much having to go through something before they can communicate, okay? So it's like right now they're going through something, the rite of passage, okay? So we'll see what else we can get. What else can you tell me about communication? Basically, I just feel that communication, you know, they have to learn more before they can really communicate. And because right after that, and I get this so many times for divine masculines, this is the Two of Swords, okay? This is about having the blindfolds on. They're not aware of truth, and they're not aware of clarity, okay? They just don't get it. And you have it underneath the Death card, okay, for their energy, which is like, that's why they're going to be transforming, and that's why a lot of them are in karmic situations, even if it isn't a partner, in some type of pressured scenario, right, where they have to transform. And that's why you have the Two of Swords, because the Two of Swords is being blind, basically to everything, to the truth. You don't have clarity. The swords they're just protecting you. It's almost like you don't even want to see, because ultimately a lot of that is self-imposed. I mean, all of it is self-imposed in the end from one perspective, but it does take experience to take the blindfolds off. Like, even if somebody else takes them off for you, so to speak, an event happens to you, it is ultimately you who becomes aware, right? So, you know, nobody made me spiritually awakened. There's just events that triggered that inside of me, right? It's that type of energy. So they're not, that's why, you know, don't expect anything this month for a general collective, okay? Everybody's different, of course, but never get your expectations set on something. But they are in this energy of being blind, okay? So it's like they can't communicate because they don't know why they should. Does that make sense? Because a lot of them actually think that they're in the right, or that they don't need to communicate, because they're just blind to the awareness of the connection, okay? Let me see what else I can get, though, okay? Because it's I read it like a story, right? So this is how it starts, and then it gets kind of like that, right? So it's just a transition phase. So what else can you tell me about the communication? Oh, so this is a great card to get, though, guys, because it is the Twin Flame card, which is the Four of Wands, okay? Celebration, marriage, happiness, joy, passion, love, presumably sex, dancing. Lots of good stuff, okay? So, Four of Wands is great to have in any reading, okay? And so what this would indicate to me is communication. I mean, this would be a committed relationship, so communication would be incoming. Definitely a yes card, right, traditionally. And you have it goes to 2 and then it goes to 4. So it's like right now, that, and this is under the Temperance card, right? So again, the energies are matching. So it's like you have that Temperance, which is about that awakening, the spiritual nourishment, the balance, the understanding. And then right here is the Four of Wands, which is like the Twin Flame, right? So it's like right now there's a period of just, they don't know enough. They're going through their own type of ritual, right? Their own traditional, they might be following paths that aren't even meant for them, right? Those would be the karmic situations because they're blind. And then, communication, suddenly, it's, again, with the energies, the death and the Temperance card. So it's like around the middle of this near future, then it's like, oh, okay, Twin Flame relationship, right? Then they become awake to it, right? So its communication isn't happening right now because they're not aware right now, right? But they're going to be, okay? And I mean, again, not everybody. They could even be aware of twin flames. You might have told them you guys are twin flames. Everybody can. Intellectually being aware is very different than being aware with your intuition or your heart space, right? You have to really balance out those energies. And again, Temperance card. After we have the Three of Wands, which is about waiting for your ships to come in, but also this dragon here, Henry the Dragon, he is waiting. Or I guess he is waiting, but he's looking behind him, right? He's looking at the past a little bit. He's looking at all the stuff that he's crossed, all that lava there. Though presumably he could have just flew across, but Henry's a little bit slow. So this would be an indication of waiting a little bit, right? Communication's coming. It does speak to action and adventure. I mean, this dragon crossed a whole, a whole space of lava, right? A lot of obstacles. When I think of the Three of Wands, I always think of an energy of kind of waiting for the day of your plane, right? What you're about to travel, so you're about to make this momentous move, or vacation, whatever. You're just about to travel. You're about to do something, take some type of action and adventure, and ultimately you're kind of just waiting, right? So, like for me, I booked a bunch of classes to go back to school, getting a certificate in music production, so I can just learn more and do my own business type of stuff. And, of course, also for my own interest as well, because I love music. And right now, I'm waiting for school to start, right? So an action is there's about to be a new cycle, some type of adventure, right? Meeting new people, classes, information, just on a psychological level, my brain neurons would be firing because there's all this stuff going on. I'd be becoming more distracted away from the relationship. I'd be focusing on myself, more divine masculine energy. Do you understand? So there's a period of action and adventure coming to me. But right now, I'm not in the middle of it, right? The classes don't start till August 19th. And that's what I mean, Three of Wands energy, right? So have that in mind with the communication, okay? So it's like right now, okay, they're blind. That sucks, I understand. I really do. But they are going to be aware of this connection in the near future. The communication is going to start off slow. Again, that's why you probably had that Page of Cups up there. And it is going to get to a place where they can, where it's like they're going to start in a period where it's like, okay, they're going to begin this cycle with you, this new communication, right? So what else can you tell me about communication, spirit world, ghosts, ancestors, poltergeists? What else you got going for me? Yeah, so we have another Wands card, which is good. A lot of Wand energy right now. So this is the Ace of Wands, guys, which is new beginning, right? I just said that, new cycle starting, right? Any ace is good news. Again, having it underneath the Nine of Wands is an energy. It's like, that's 3 Wand cards in a row, which really speaks to passion and desire, right? So Ace of Wands also speaks to a phallic symbol. So that, phallic meaning dick. Dick, is that the nice way of saying it? I don't know. But sexual energy, okay? Sexual passion, sexual relationship, confidence, beginnings, travel, partnerships, creative. It's a great news for anything creative, okay? So really it just speaks to the desire being born again, the passion being born again, okay? There might have been this lull that you're in where you don't even know how you feel towards your divine masculine, and ultimately all you can do is focus on yourself and give yourself all of that love and energy. and which is what you should be doing, of course. That's why you do feel that lull in the first place, right? Because trying to make them love you doesn't work, so you're like, I guess I'll just love myself, and then you finally relent and surrender, and it actually gets better. I never thought that it ever would, but it actually does, surprisingly. That saying that time heals all wounds, it does. I mean, as long as you're doing the work, otherwise you're just wasting time. But, so, okay, you do get an energy here of communication really coming in, okay? Because you do have the Ace of Wands, 4, 3, 1. It's like countdown, right? It's just that, it's going to suddenly become like the communication. I also feel is going to be very, very unexpected, because in order for it to really come in order for the twin flame communication to really come into your life, you need to be like completely like not even expecting it. Because I mean that like truly. Like if you really are desperately wanting your twin flame to communicate, you need to invite the paradox into your life. And the paradox would be to give up control gives you control, okay? Because you literally are going to be like, you know what, I can't think about it, so why don't I just forget about it? And then you do, and then one day they just come out of nowhere and communicate to you, because you're not putting any energy into the connection anymore. And they feel that. And then one day they just, they communicate to you, okay? And that's how it works, guys. That's how it works for a lot of things in life, honestly. You just stop. You just, don't care anymore, and you forget. And then it just happens, okay? This happens almost in so many ways in my life. I'll share a little story real quick, just a personal touch to give you guys a little element. But there was one time I was staying with a friend, and he had lost some type of ring that his dad had given him, and his dad is deceased, so it meant a lot to him. And he lost it, and of course it's actually his own fault, because the little bastard was littering. Okay, I don't know why. I hate when people litter. I think I hate it the most because I used to do it, and I just don't like that. I mean, unless you're littering in New York City, I don't see why you're littering. I mean, New York City is just one big piece of litter. But anyway. He lost it because he threw away some like soda cup, and he flew off his hand, right? He like chucked it, and he's like, oh shit, right, okay, so he lost it. And I said, don't worry about it, man, it's there, let it go, and you'll find it when you least expect it. Now he searched for hours and hours in the dark at like 3 a.m. right, for like people probably thought he was crazy. Eventually, he had to go to bed, and the next day when he was coming back from school, he just happened to be walking, not even looking for it, and there it was on the sidewalk, right? So all that time he was searching for it, guy never found it, and then as soon as he let go, he found it. And that's the same type of energy you need to do here. It's actually is that easy. It's just with a ring, it's less. There's no real pain attached to it as much as you would expect a twin flame relationship, and that's why it takes so long, is because of that growth in the process, okay? Anyway, I'm sorry that took a little bit long, but I just wanted to share that to give you guys an idea of why it happens like that, okay? But look at this. The final card for communication is the Nine of Cups. Now, this does involve some type of self-indulgence. It's not greedy of the emotions, kind of a little bit, but it is a wish fulfillment card. It is a cup full of love, and this dragon is heading towards the light, right? It's heading towards that 10 of Cups. And having it underneath the Page of Cups, again, all the energy is matching. It's just indicating that communication is going to come in, okay? They're going to be letting go of whatever it is that is holding them back and really just taking that plunge, okay? Stupid books. All right, put those up there for now. Okay, so, again, just to summarize, they're going through some stuff right now. They're blind. They're just blind to it. They don't have enough information. They don't get it. That's why they're in their own situations, okay? Whatever it may be, that's why they're in it, okay? But then you have the Four of Wands. And then you have the Three of Wands, and you have the Ace of Wands, and you have the Nine of Cups, and all the energy matches, okay? So, keep in mind that communication is going to come. It's going to be very unexpected. Start off slow. There's going to be a period of, you're going to have to basically focus on yourself, but they are going to take that plunge, okay? Just don't get too attached to the time frame, because again, it does happen when you let go, and everybody lets go in different times, okay? It takes specific circumstances for each of you. But again, this is a general reading, and if you want a personal reading, you can book one with me. The prices are very fair, okay? At least I think so. I was trying to get, I try not to read for myself because ego gets in the way. And I was looking through some other prices of twin flame readers, and like some of them were like $70, and I was like, I charge the same thing but for like $15, But I guess when you get a certain amount of subscribers, you just charge whatever you want, which I guess is fair. I don't know. I don't know enough about it. But, oh well, that's that, right? So let me know if you guys want that. Of course, the link will be in the description. So let me also now find out about what the communication is going to look like, right? So I'll pull some cards on that. So this is going to just indicate what kind of communication it's going to be. So dear Spirit, what kind of communication is this going to be? What's the communication going to look like? So 2 cards came out, okay? The first card is the 3 of Pentacles, okay? Now the 3 of Pentacles is about, well, it is kind of about success. It's about work worth doing, right? It's about investing your time wisely. It is about determination, hard work. You can see this guy right here working very, very hard on putting up those pentacles in that pillar, that dragon watching him. So it does have an element of success. So I can tell you that the communication is going to be about, basically it's going to require some work. Okay, that's the biggest indication there. And that doesn't have to be negative. It just means that the communication is going to be a little bit more, let's say, heavy in nature. It's going to require some focus. It's going to, it can't be flippant. Do you know what I mean? And by flippant, I don't know if you know what that word means, but you can't. It can't just be this type of, whatever type of, oh hey, how you doing, right? It's going to be a little bit more serious, okay? If that makes sense a little bit, okay? Because that is what I feel. Now the next card that I got is the King of Cups, but I actually got it in reverse, okay? So traditionally, the King of Cups in the upright, anyway, would mean a man who follows his intuition, very in tune with his emotions. In the reversed, it does refer to as emotional vulnerability. Okay, so it also could have some issues to do with anger, being a little bit volatile, because especially after you meet, all the triggering might make you King of Cups in reverse. Do you know what I mean? Where you explode emotionally because you're not in control of your emotions, that type of thing. So I can tell you that the communication is either going to be about the lack of control in the emotions that you guys have shared, but I more heavily believe that it is going to be an emotional vulnerability that comes, that the Divine Masculine finally offers some type of vulnerability because they're so ingrained from their childhood and society to not show emotions. Okay, whether it's male or female, doesn't matter. Okay, they're still not, they've been ingrained with that. So there is going to be some emotional vulnerability in this conversation. That's why you also have that 3 of Pentacles, right? It's like this is going to require work. It might even require work for them to become vulnerable, right? Because they need to feel that they can open up. And that is also why, again, why up there you have the slower energy. So it is like, yeah, they might come in with something small, unexpectedly, some excuse, but you have to look at the truth behind that action, right? You need to get them to open up. So we'll see what else I can get. Spirit, what else can you tell me about what kind of communication is coming in? And I feel like that makes sense. I love getting this card. I love this card, okay? This is the Justice card. One of my favorite cards in the deck, specifically, especially when it comes to do with Twin Flames. So this is about talking about, it's justice. It's things being set right. Balance being brought back. So the communication is going to be, literally bringing balance back into the relationship, literally talking about the imbalance, telling you the truth, setting things right, making amends for past wrongs. It's just speaking that you're going to get your, whoever, the just desserts, whatever, everybody gets theirs. You guys are going to get what's owed to you, okay? And you are going to get what's owed to you. The funny thing about it, though, is that when you get what's owed to you, it's a long type of process. You really could actually think about your twin flame relationship as a trial on court, because very rarely are they ever, think of like a big TV trial or something. Like it takes a while, right? Maybe the O.J. Simpson trial. I was a kid when that was happening, so I don't really know how long it took, but presumably it wasn't over in a night. Anyway, the idea is that you can think of it as like this long, drawn out trial, but you're in the right, but you just have to wait until like you get to the point where justice is served, that type of thing, right? I almost don't want to pull another card after this, but I will. I'm going to pull one more, okay? What else can you tell me about communication? Spirit. And the only reason I don't want to pull another card is simply because that's a really good place to end, but I will pull one more. One did fall out. It's the Queen of Pentacles, okay? It's an independent woman, a woman who's on her own. This is you guys. By the time they communicate, that's you. You don't have to be a woman. I'm not a woman. At least I don't think I am. And so this is going to be about the justice being brought to them, to you, as that independent divine feminine. Right? You have your own wealth now. You don't need it. And that's why there is that waiting period, because they are going to come back. But I'm telling you guys, they're only ever going to come back when you're in your own energy, when there's nothing that's owed to you. Right? Because that's just, I mean, it sucks to say, but it really is just kind of how it works. Because it's an energy thing. It's not really a person thing. You have to see it kind of from the 5D, which is extremely hard to do, especially as you're going through your own awakening and your own processes and your own lessons in karma, right? But this is what I really heavily feel, is that they are going to bring justice to you, because by the time they bring justice to you, you're the independent divine feminine, you're completely empowered, you're successful on your own, you don't even need them. You don't need them at all. Because you already know that you did the best you could. You already won inside of yourself, okay? You guys get to have the last laugh, all right? This woman is smiling a little bit, smirking, crossing her legs, very relaxed, okay? Just chilling out. She's holding up her pentacle. She knows what she's got. She knows what she's worth. She's fine with everything, okay? That's you guys. So try to be more Queen of Pentacles energy, okay? If divine feminine wise. Be in that energy, okay? So I'm going to move those up, and I'm just going to find out about the outcome, okay? So I'm going to pull 4 or 5 cards for the outcome. So what is the outcome of this divine couple, dear spirit? The outcome of this communication, I should say. What is the outcome of this communication? I got some cards that came out, okay. Did I get one? I got one, actually. All right, this is the Knight of Swords. So this is fast action, air energy, truth and stress. So it is, again, unexpected, comes in, might be a little harsh, or it's basically it's going to cut, whatever bullshit or whatever was in between. That separation is going to be cut unexpectedly, and it's just going to be sudden, very sudden. This truth is going to come in, okay? And I've been saying that, I think, a little bit throughout the reading, right? It's going to come out of nowhere. So what else can you tell me about this this communication, the outcome of this communication, your spirit? So yeah, so again, Hangman, right? This is the waiting. It's going to end the waiting. It's going to cut the waiting in half, okay? Because all that waiting, Major Arcana, the longer type of period. That's why when you get the Hangman, it's why you guys have been waiting so long. They're going to cut that period of it's just going to come out of nowhere, okay? Yeah, and then after that, you do have the King of Wands. You do have it in reverse, though. Now, when the King of Wands is in reverse, it does speak to somebody who's a little bit manipulative and controlling, okay? Now, the way that I see that, I'm going to get another card on that, but I do feel that it is going to, the outcome is basically going to end that type of energy, because a lot of divine masculines do really have been in that energy, right? Right? I think they have been. And then you have the Five of Wands in reverse, which has to do with, upright, it has to do with conflict and being, like debates and arguing and stuff like that. And having it in the reverse, to me, intuitively, I really feel that that all the problems are, it's not necessarily that they're going to go away, it's more that they're going to be resolved, right, over, like the outcome is that that all this stuff is going to end, okay? That's how I tend to view them, asking this specific question rather than like what the actual meaning of the card might mean. The actual meaning of the reversed is about misinformation, feeling stressed, feeling like you're weak, something like that, right? Dishonesty, that type of energy. So I can tell you that the Knight of Swords is like, because it's like, to me intuitively, with these two first cards, it's like they're going to be like, the outcome is they're going to be talking about all of the shit, the lies, okay? The fact that they were manipulative, okay? All of that is going to be flipped upside down, because the truth is going to come in. All of that shit. And if you haven't realized this about your divine masculine, they have these tendencies, right? Is you need to, because that's what the outcome is. The outcome is about them being like, they're going to be exposed, because that's where that emotional vulnerability comes with that